What is up, YouTube? Today I'll be doing yet another video. I'm trying something new. I'm using the back side of the camera just because it has a flash and I think it has better quality. But today's video is going to be a top 5. This is going to be my top 5 worst movies, or movies that there's one movie in this that I can't really classify as a bad movie, but I've seen it once and I don't ever want to see it again. So that's why I put in this list. It's not a bad movie, it's just not for me. It's pretty boring. It's lacking in some parts, but I'll get to that very shortly. But today is just going to be 5 because I don't really normally get movies that I don't like. And I haven't watched all of my movies yet, so there's still movies in my collection that I still need to watch, and the list might update. But these are the movies that I physically watched and I set through and is in my collection. I'm not going to go on Netflix or anything like that and find bad movies or whatever. So these are the ones in my collection, and to start, the first one off is Alien vs. Predator, the first one. This was one of my first movies I've ever bought, ever. Not this copy, I had it on DVD the first time. And then just through the years of this, I've got this in my collection. I'm pretty sure one of my best friends brought this for me. One of my best friends, that sounded weird. One of my friends brought this for me for my birthday, I believe, or for Christmas. I can't remember why he brought it for me. But the reason this is on the list is because this is one of the most lacked movies I've seen in my collection. I've seen AVP 2, which is way worse than this film, but I don't have that. And this is, it's just a lackluster film. I love the Alien franchise and I love the Predator franchise. I have all the movies, unless I don't have, obviously, the second one to this. And also I need to get the Predator is the newest one, and Alien Covenant as well. So I'm just lacking 2 movies, but like I was saying, the story in this, it starts off strong. I have to give it that. It starts off with suspense, and you feel like you're watching a Predator movie. But then when the aliens come into it, it's kind of, I don't know, it just feels lackluster, and it's not as good as the films that it's trying to use off. So I can't really give it anything other than it's below average. I can't bring myself to watch it again. It's just, I used to love it because this was my only film I own, so I had to love it. So, AVP, if you've seen this, let me know what your thoughts. This is why it's the 5th one, because it's right on the borderline, so, yeah, that's that one. Next up is the movie that I was talking about, and that is Gravity. I like Sandra Bullock and George Clooney as well. I really do enjoy them acting, but this felt really boring, and I feel the reason I got this was because I got the TV I have now, the first big TV I've owned in my room, basically, and I wanted to get a movie to kind of show it off, and this was on special and I got it, and that's basically the only time I've watched it and the only time I will watch it, to be honest. It's pretty neat to have it in my collection because it is good to show someone who hasn't seen it, and that's why I put this on this list, because I can bring myself to watch it once every couple years or something like that. I just can't. Once I've seen it, I've seen it. I was going to do the same thing with Interstellar, but I did enjoy that a little bit more because of what it did. This was basically Alien, the first Alien, but without the alien. And it's okay, but it's for a certain person. If you really love realistic space movies, go check this one out. Sandra Bullock is pretty good in it, and George Clooney is George Clooney, so yeah, check this out if you haven't seen it. If you have, let me know what you thought of it. But yeah, Gravity. Next up is one of my favorite franchises of movies out there, but this film in particular is utter trash. The reason that it's not higher up is because of how much I love this franchise. I can't. I've watched it a bit more than the second two I have up next, but this one is American Pie Presents Book of Love. Um, yeah, this is. It's hard to explain. It's basically I watched a video on YouTube. I forgot his name, but he talked about like the worst films, and he talked about the disaster movie, date movie, and stuff like that. This feels like one of those films. It has the same kind of comedy and the way that it is um, uh, like produced and stuff like that. The only thing that saves the film is the name and what it's trying to do. The story is decent enough for me to watch it every now and then. That's why it's basically in the middle here. I can watch it, but at the same time, I don't want to watch it. It's pretty bad, but I just had to put this in here because this is one of the worst films in. Well, this is the worst film in the American Pie series. My favorite one, obviously, is American Pie, the first one, and then right behind it, actually, is Bayday House. I really like that one. It's one of these ones, American Pie Presents. There's four of the Presents ones, I'm pretty sure, or three. Four. Yeah, there's four. Um, so yeah, pretty lackluster film. Didn't really like it. But I do go back to it because it is what it is, and I just, every time I see the American Pie sign, I just put it in, watch it, and then when I finish watching, I'm like, why did I waste my time on this? Yeah, Book of Love. If you've seen it, let me know. Yeah, but funny story about this one actually. Before I move on, the reason that I got it was because I loved the second one as well, American Pie, and that no, the first one. Sorry, that's when they mentioned it. The first one is when they mentioned the Book of Love. So the reason I got this was because I wanted to see more about the Book of Love and basically what it was all about before those movies, after those movies. This is based after. But I wanted to see more of the Book of Love, and basically, that's what you get in this. You get what it is, and you go through everything that is in the book, which is why I like to watch it a little bit more, because of the Book of Love. But, once again, lackluster film. Let me know if you've seen it. Next up is a movie that I've recently seen. I recently did a video on it, and if you've been keeping up, you'll probably know what it is, and that is Dark House. Yes, this is number second because this is the second worst fucking film I've ever seen in my fucking life. Yes, I'm saving a in-depth review on this because I want to do little spoofs and stuff on this because there's so much comedy in this film that I want to portray in a video. I want to do that, but this, you can tell that it's trying to do a Evil Dead kind of movie when they go find this house in the middle of nowhere basically, and all these devil demon stuff starts happening, and when I'm watching I'm like, I'm laughing at parts that I'm not supposed to laugh at, and it's so hard to watch because they are trying to make a horror film, a thriller film, and they do such a bad job of portraying the bad guys in this, and the way that you are meant to be scared, be thrilled, be all this, and the twist and everything is just, it's done in a way that you've seen it all before, and it's just it feels like they're taking bits and parts of each film's in its genre and splicing it into one, but then it turns out to be Jason X. And if you've seen Jason X, you'll get that reference. But it's just one of these films where you just sit down, you don't take it seriously one bit. The opening scene, I'm not even fucking joking. Look it up on YouTube. Look up the opening fucking thing to Dark House. You have to find this movie. Sorry, I'm gonna talk about this for a second. To find this movie, you have to put Tobin Bell Dark House, because if you put Dark House, then the haunted house on the hill comes up and shit like that. So this is super obscure and not many people know about this. But talking about the opening. The opening starts with the title Dark House, but in a little bit of a creepy more font. And then it stays on screen for a couple seconds, and then it goes like it's meant to be scary, but it's not. And then it cuts to a crawling or like a Evil Dead shot where the camera is moving really fast through a CGI vent, and then you get to the vent thing, and then the movie starts playing. When I watched it, I thought for sure it was a little sponsor thing that they have at the start of films, and I'm like, am I watching the film or am I watching the sponsor thing? I have no idea. And then it's cut straight into the film, and it's like, what that shows you what kind of film you're gonna watch. And I forgot to talk about in the video I did like last week about this film. There's a lot of people talking to vents, and then at the start you're thinking, why are they fucking talking to these vents all the time? You don't understand. And towards the end, the explanation is so bad, it's incredible. Like, I don't think I can think of anything more cliche / second movie bait, I guess, because fuck it, you're not gonna watch it, no one's gonna watch it. Basically, the main character of the film, he finds out in the end that he's a demon, or half demon, half angel. I could not fucking follow it as well as I could. But then he finds out that the person who the people talking into the vent is his father. And you don't see his father at all, you don't see any shadow, you don't see anything. You just see him talking to these guys, and you find out that the house is like a sanctuary for these demons that are hidden away in the basement, and they want to come out into the world and destroy the world. And the two of the main characters that you run into in the film, they turn out to be these devil people who want to open it up to release them. It sounds ridiculous, it's stupid, it is stupid. CGI is fucking shit. It's the CGI that I fucking hate. It's the ones that they put in there because they're too lazy to actually do the work themselves. There's a scene where at the start, I've showed in the film, in the video, he throws an axe, it goes into a tree. It looks like here's a tree, and it's obviously right behind the tree like this. And then they put the CGI in for the effect of it being in the tree, where they could have taken a little bit of the effort to actually take time and practice, or get someone who knows how to throw an axe, or just to get that lucky throw, and then it's boom, and it's there, and it looks awesome because it's practical. But that's the problem in the film. They don't want to put effort into it, and you can tell they don't want to put effort into it, and it's just fucking horrible. I fucking hate it. This is really close to the first one, and you know what the first one is. But yeah, Dark House, if you've seen it, let me know. I'm sorry if you have seen it. But yeah, fucking shit. Go check it out if you want to. The next up is, everyone knows what this is. I've talked about it in one of my first ever reviews. I guess it was a review. So I won't talk too much about it. But the first movie in my collection that I fucking hate, the worst movie I've ever seen in my life, and that is Stanley Kubrick's The Fog. John Carpenter film and Jamie Lee Curtis. I fucking hate this film. Coming from Halloween, I just don't understand where he could go wrong. I absolutely loved the first Halloween. It did everything right. I felt the suspense. I felt worried. I felt scared. And in this, it's just so lackluster. I just don't like it. It's big. Okay, I'm losing my words here. The reason I dislike this film as much as I do is because of Halloween. If I've seen this first and then go to Halloween, I'll be like, okay, The Fog was decent enough to be whatever. That was the first film I've seen of him. Now I see Halloween and it's great. But I watched Halloween before this, and that's where I think a lot of people get the same idea as me. Coming from such I wouldn't say masterpiece, but coming from such a great film to this, it feels like what Halloween did, but made it a little bit more boring and a lot more annoying. And when I'm watching it, and when I did watch it, I've only watched it once. And when I did watch it, I was annoyed watching it because I had such a high praise on John Carpenter, and I just couldn't get over how lackluster, how unaffected this film made me after watching it. Normally after a film, I sit down and I just think of everything I could remember in the film, every little part. I sit back, I think, and I go, okay, I want to watch that again. In this, I'm like, I don't want to think about it, I don't want to watch it again, I just want it to be out of my life. But, saying that, I want it in my life because, as shit as it is, it shows me that even the best people in the world, even the best directors and the best writers, the best actors, can lack in some aspects. They can have that one part in their life where they go, that wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, or that's not as creative as I wanted it to be, not as impactful, and I don't know the word, as I wanted it to be. And that's this film. Jamie Lee Curtis, she was done amazingly in other films. Most recently, the remake of Halloween. And then there's this film. She probably despised this film. And it's just one of those things. John Carpenter as well, he's a great director, but this film is just one of those movies that I have to respect it as much as I hate it, because I always love it when a director takes a different direction to what it's trying to do. John Carpenter, made history when he made Halloween. He started the whole slasher stage, and that's why I love Halloween so much, because it started what I loved the most, the slasher films, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, all those films. And with this, he took something different. He wanted to make a film about a fog. Now, I respect him because he wanted to do something different. He wanted to do his own thing here. He wanted to do whatever he wanted to do. That's why I respect it. But as a film, I just have to say that I dislike it with the most utter respect in my whole life. I've never seen a worse film than this. That was the worst sentence I've ever said, but hopefully it gets out what I'm trying to say here. I respect the film, but at the same time, I fucking hate the film. That is The Fog. Obviously, I've done a video, so I'm not going to go too much into it. You've seen what I think about it, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, if you've seen it, let me know. And if you did see it because of my review, I reckon that would literally make my day. I would be so happy. Because that's what I want to do with this channel. I want to show people films that they might not see. But yeah, if you've seen this, I'm sorry once again with Dark House. But yeah, anyway, that is The Fog. If you've seen it, let me know. And yeah, I actually found out a while ago that one of my friends, he got a special edition of this film, which I like that cover a lot more than this, but at the same time I feel sorry that he has to have it. Just like me. Just that is the kryptonite of my films. But anyway, that is the top 5. That is the Overlook, I guess. It's just funny that there's one DVD, but you can't get any of the American Pie Presents on Blu-ray anyway. Not that I see anyway. But yeah, that's that. If you want to see any other top 5s, I'll definitely do I don't know, top 5 disappointing movies, something like that. I don't know. I'll do something. But if you did like this film, give it a like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I don't really mind. Yeah, so I don't know what's next. I might, I've been saying I'm gonna do the next one in the 1930 decade, but I'm just putting that off for the time being because I have a little spoof for the next film. I just have to get some props and some stuff because I want to make it pretty good. I have some ideas in my head and I reckon it will be awesome to do. Also, in October, hopefully I can do it. I'll be doing, each day of October, I'll be doing, a special thing. I don't want to give it away yet. But yeah, look out for that one. Look out for the next video. I'm not too sure what that will be yet. But yeah, anyway, look out for those ones, and I'll talk to you guys later. But most importantly, let's talk movies.